Ooh-cha, here we are again. Winter in Scotland, not Chamonix.
I'm quite sure where we go here now.
Keep an eye up.
Yeah, watch it.
It feels a bit wiggy, that, mate.
Yeah, that's benchmark icy mix climbing.
That's a run out, isn't it? Oh, go away, wind.
Good ice, that, isn't it?
Bomber. Yeah, it's quite a serious route, actually, that.
Park the knife all the way.
Safe, Tim!
I'm not doing that again.
I'll tell you about Tim Neal. Big 6'7" Irishman. Must be 16 stone. You know, probably heavier. Mountain guide. Par excellence.
Nick and I met here in Glencoe on our winter mountain leader assessment course. And just since then, we climb together all the time.
We're pretty different in some aspects. No fixed abode for 11, 12 years. So I just like live in the gutter and go climbing and write a bit.
Yeah, but we understand each other's lives. So Nick spends a lot of time at our house in Wales, and my little girl definitely knows Uncle Nick, that's for sure. Yeah, we climb together all the time. And yeah, Nick is definitely the best person to climb with in wintertime.
Amazing climbing with Tim, because he's got me to the bottom of some very good routes, and he's got me off the top of some very good routes. The way it works, because Tim is probably he is the most driven guidebook ticker I've ever known in my life. And he just wants to do, I think, every climb in the world.
Yeah, I know I've climbed loads on Nevis. I've climbed, I suppose, 150, maybe 200 different winter routes.
But he'll go out and climb like crappy routes because he hasn't done them. You know, what's that all about? I'd rather not bother. I'd rather like go and sit and drink a nice cup of coffee. Are there any routes left for him to do that are beneath a certain grade? You know, probably not. He's a little bit OCD.
I always like to try and climb in control. It's a good contrast when I go climbing with Nick. It's always as different as it could possibly be to what I normally do. It's always about climbing the best thing that's possible. That's usually what happens with Nick. Yeah, Nick takes risks because you got to take risks if you want to go winter climbing for sure. The risk is that we're always going to go big, and when you go big, the outcome is always going to be pretty uncertain. So
that whole kind of going and having a suck in a sea and not quite knowing what you're going to get, for me, adds so much more. Because I want to go and do things different and find different conditions, and occasionally you won't get that good condition, you have a battle up something. And I'd rather not know it's 100% virtually guaranteed. If I knew there was a guaranteed thing there, guaranteed placement, guaranteed foot, guaranteed gear, it's not worth doing. You're bringing it all the way down, back down. You know, you're just taking away all of that. Because, you know, that climb we did wasn't that physical, you know, and that bit where I was 6 meters or whatever it was above that bulldog hook and whatever, where I was looking breaking my legs if I came up, it wasn't that, it was just like being very, like, you know, tap, 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 and you know, you just had to really keep it screwed down, and that for me is what it's about. Turn my head off and try hard. That's my style of climbing, really.
Nick's lead was awesome, yeah, because it really played to his strengths, which is that kind of tenuous, bold and technical winter climbing.
When I set off up that first groove, I suddenly went, okay, gonna have to try over here.
Tricky groove, mate.
I properly felt like I was going into that, I need to keep it all under control here.
Oh yeah, beauty.
And that going out onto that top slab and where you come across and when you don't know quite what you're going. That was like, really, that was quite out there. The gear was way below and it was, I think, a shonky hook. And that was quite pokey. He was given, what, 8.8, so, you know, it was always going to be a bit tricky. You know, there's fear. Yeah, I'm not a bloody Nexus 6. Of course there's fear. But I was 99.9% sure I was going to get to the VIII.
There's a pole now. That's a run out, isn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't do that sort of thing every day. For me, that was, yeah, right up there for sure. The first ascent was earlier last week.
Basically, the second pitch was the only new bit.
The first pitch is of an established route called Stormtrooper. The main bulk of the route that we did was a variation finish to that called Han Solo. Yeah, the main deal with it was that once you set off onto the ice, it'd be pretty hard to imagine coming back.
No, it wasn't. It was not going to reverse that. It couldn't do it after a certain point.
Once I did the first couple of moves, I don't think there wasn't any coming back.
Sorry for being tough, buddy, Nick.
Yeah, it was a bloody good lead, actually. Surprised me.
Yeah, it's amazing. Flying by the seat of my pants.
That's probably the most boldest, hardest pitch I've ever seen Tim lead in his life. It would have been even bolder if he hadn't put all the gear in another route.
It would have been pretty grim to fall off, that's for sure. Probably think about it too much, and that's Nick always takes the piss out of me for that. So, you know, that's just what I have to put up with when I go out climbing with Nick.
Tim was thinking about falling off every move.
Didn't fall off though.
I think I was being really supportive. He didn't think the same thing. I think he was pretty ungrateful, really, for I was there for him. I was there. And he was just like, you know, he was like telling me to be quiet.
Shush, Nick, shush.
Sorry, Tim.
So it was only just possible, certainly for me. It was quite nice when Nick came up, he was also of that opinion. Yeah, it was only just there. So yeah, it was great. Yeah, Nick's fully prepared to go as far as he can. Me, much less so. I'm allowed to be human. It's a lot to ask of somebody to get involved in, you know, an epic winter climb. It's a big thing. You've got to have absolute trust, for sure. Everybody's got to be totally into it. Me and Nick we're pretty into it. Always good when we get to go winter climbing together. It's always totally balls out. When I was saying before about climbing the best thing that's possible, that's usually what happens. And yeah, Nick is definitely the best person to climb with in winter time. Yeah, he's amazing.
Don't know if I'll do that again. Dad shouldn't have to do that sort of shit, that's for sure.